Alright, y'all, it's your boy Fro, and I'm back after a brief hiatus. Today I'm going to be talking about a comedy that I feel was a bit underrated and I feel is not really talked about as much nowadays. And that film is Observe and Report, starring Seth Rogen, Michael Pena, and Ray Liotta. Rest in peace. So ain't nothing to it but to do it. I can understand why some people didn't really gel with this flick when it came out, and I blame a majority on it on the marketing at the time. Paul Blart Mall Cop was coming out neck and neck with Observe and Report, and I'm sure a lot of people were expecting this film to be more so lighthearted and not as dark. But make no mistake, Observe and Report is one of the darker comedies that I have seen. It's very gritty, it is violent at times, and we are following an unlikable character played by Seth Rogen, Ronnie, the mall security guard. Now, Ronnie is really down on his luck. He lives at home with his mother, who's really drunk all the time and always reminisces about the promiscuous past encounters that she's had. And it's really uncomfortable for Ronnie to even sit through. He does have a couple friends at his job being a mall cop, like Dennis, played by Michael Pena, who I think steals the show out of the entire film. He's my favorite character, and I always felt like Dennis could have had his own spin off little mini series or even film, and I would have enjoyed it as well if the same creators were attached. His ridiculous delivery, his goofy tone, and his mop head all make me crack a rib every time he pops up on screen. I think Ray Liotta did a wonderful job playing Detective Harrison. He plays him very stoic and straight-faced, as Ray would usually play some of his more gruff and tough guys, but he's hilarious here because he's sick of Ronnie's shit. There's one sequence where Ronnie's completely sabotaging him and Harrison trying to work together. Harrison blacks out when they're seated together in an office. There's some words that I can't repeat here, but I'm trying to remember the rant verbatim. All right, that's it, you motherfucker. All day, I've been sick of your bullshit. We didn't find anything because of you. You fucked up my investigation and you wasted my time. Now I gotta come back to this shithole and interview the people who might have actually done the crime. I hate you. I hate you so much, you fucking rhymes with maggot. And newsflash, you're a fucking rent-a-cop. You know why?
'Cause you're a fucking retard!
It is one of the most brutally hilarious rants I've ever seen in cinema history. It almost made me think like he actually hated Seth Rogen. I don't know if there's any confirmation for that. I don't know if they got along while they were filming, but it almost felt too real. But then again, Ray Liotta was one of the greatest actors of all time, but that's one of my favorite Liotta moments for me. Anna Faris, who I am a fan of, pops up playing a girl named Brandy, who's the love interest of Ronnie. He's constantly pursuing her throughout the whole film. And I will say that Anna Faris does play a lot of the same roles for the most part. Very dumb, ditzy, clumsy blonde. I will say that she is a bit more unlikable than I'm used to seeing her, though, in this film. The character of Brandy is very sloppy drunk and messy, and she is a bit cringy to watch on screen, but I think Anna Faris sells it very well. But it does bring me to a scene that I feel is the ickiest moment of the entire film, and a lot of people do agree with me. In fact, this scene got a lot of controversy because of this. Now, there is a moment where Brandy and Ronnie eventually do hook up, but after a long night of drinking, and Brandy's pretty much passed out on the bed, and Ronnie's having sex with her, or raping her, if you will. So every time this moment pops up, I do get the creeps on it, and I feel like the movie could have cut this scene out. But there is a flasher involved in this film, and that's what half of Ronnie's pursuit is through the movie, is trying to capture the flasher. This dude is wearing a very creepy coat. He's running around in parking lots and flashing everybody that he can see. He eventually pops up on Brandy while she's working at the mall at her cosmetic station, and we do see the flasher's dick, and it's a little too much for me. It is funny, but it's a little too graphic. He's running in slow-mo and everything is swinging, and followed by a rather brutal moment where Ronnie pulls out a pistol and shoots the flasher point blank in the chest. There's blood splattered everywhere. It's pretty violent and bloody for a R-rated comedy. Another guy that I find to be very funny and makes me crack up nearly every time he pops up in anything is Danny McBride. I am a fan of him. And I wish that his role was bigger because he's rather a 2-minute cameo. He pops up really quick. And from what I understand, he was written originally for Detective Harrison, Ray Liotta's role. But he has one of the funnier scenes. He plays a gang member leader. He has all his homies, and he even has his little son Rico with him. Ronnie's like, "That's your son? This my motherfucking son right here. This my seed right here." The gang eventually gets the drop on Ronnie. Danny McBride pulls out a pistol in his face, and right when it looks like he's about to get killed, Ronnie pulls out one of those police wand sticks, not a baton, but it's skinnier than that. Pulls it out, starts beating the whole entire gang up, cracks an elbow, we see the bone popping out. It is a rather brutal sequence, but it made me laugh pretty heavy. Now, admittedly, I wasn't the biggest Aziz Ansari fan around this time, but I will admit his really small role that he has a hilarious scene here where him and Ronnie are bantering back and forth, and he's saying, "Fuck you, Ronnie. No, fuck you. No, fuck you, Ronnie." And it just keeps going on and on for about like 2 minutes, but it makes me crack a rib every time. I did forget we have Jesse Plemons also in one of his earlier roles before he really took off, and he's playing one of the quieter security guards. What's his name? Charles. And at the end of the film, when Ronnie is having his showdown with all the cops and he's swinging his flashlight around and they eventually overpower him and beat the hell out of him, Charles comes in, swoops on top of a lot of the cops and goes down with Ronnie. So I always liked that character move. There is another sub-story with the girl named Nell, from what I remember, and she's interested in Ronnie, but Ronnie's more interested in Brandy. And she's a better fit for Ronnie. She has a nicer personality overall, but of course, Ronnie is more attracted to the messiness of Brandy. My favorite line in the movie does involve a spoiler, and that's when Dennis is found out to be a criminal. He's the one that's robbing the mall the entire time, and him and Ronnie have a scuffle. He's able to get away successfully, and one day Ronnie's reading a letter that Dennis wrote to him, and I can see if some people don't really find this too funny, but the way Michael Pena's delivery sells this is hilarious. He says, "Hey Ronnie, how's your dick hanging? Low, I hope." But wrapping it up, I've always liked Observe and Report. This one gives me some pretty big belly laughs from a solid cast overall. This is one of my favorite Seth Rogen performances because he does play a slime ball and a dirtbag very well in here. I teeter-totter between being disgusted by him and his character, feeling a bit sympathetic for him, kind of rooting for him, and then being disgusted again. And I think he sells it very well. Anna Faris, Michael Pena steals the show yet again. He's hilarious. And I've always liked the brief bouts of carnage that are displayed here in this film. It's not extremely crazy, 10 out of 10 gory or anything, but there are some very brutal moments. I'm going to give Observe and Report an 8 out of 10. And that's it, y'all. It's your boy Fro. What did you think about this movie? Did you hate it? Did you like it? Comment below. Let me know your thoughts. In the meantime, between time, I'm on to the next review. Check out my Patreon in my description box. Like and subscribe. It helps out your boy. And I'm out. Bong. Thank you guys.